Okay, all right. Archana, everything is fine, Archana. Good morning.
Good morning, Vinod.
Hope you'll not go out of the meeting.
No, Vinod.
Sure, right?
Sure.
Why it is happening every time with you? Any any technical issue?
No, Vinod. Why I don't know, but last day it was your voice is breaking, and sometimes screen will stuck at one place. So that's why I don't understand what's happening now. So
How
today
are you
it's okay,
attending the
but
session today?
hope
How are you attending the session today? Laptop, mobile phone, which one?
no, Vinod. Mobile phone.
Okay,
My husband have his interview on my personal laptop, so I have to attend my class so only on mobile phone.
tomorrow. Tomorrow, any plans? What are the plans tomorrow?
I every day I ask my husband, please don't make any plans on this time, but he will prepare for only that time, you know.
And what about the new laptop?
Uh, I return my new laptop, you know.
Okay, I mean that I understand. What happened after return?
No, it will take some time to buy new one. So
Okay,
it's okay. My Eclipse is working well, Vinod, on that laptop. I don't have problem
okay,
with my old laptop, but my today my husband interview is on that laptop, so that's why I log in with
okay,
my mobile phone.
okay. Hopefully tomorrow there will not be any problem. Okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
See, okay, in between, if you are moving out, I don't know what is happening. So, it will be a disturbance for everyone. We need to keep on checking who is actually coming back. We need to admit them. It is, unless it is a core technical issue, which is not in your control, then it is fine. Otherwise, please stop if it is unrelated. Okay. Okay. See, this one we are discussing about the uh, web tables, right? So web tables is something which is displaying on the web pages, and it is a combination of rows and columns. Correct? Just like in Excel sheet that we have a rows and columns. The similar way we have. Uh, Let me put that in a step mode. Right. Okay. So rows and columns, just the same way we have an Excel sheet, right? The similar fashion, the data will be displayed in a rows and columns. How it is displayed? With the help of a HTML tags, where I think this has yeah this is the sample in HTML table, which is written in the form of HTML tag, right? And we have also discussed what is the hierarchy and what are the what is tr table rows, what is td table definitions, table data. Okay. Now we will also started understanding of how to write a script on a static. Now web table has two types. We have discussed yesterday. One is static web table, other one is dynamic web table. So when we say static web table, it means that the table rows and columns will not be changed. It remains as is, and there will not be change, or there will not be any update on the table. Even if you refresh for more than one time or any n number of times, the data, the rows and column will be in the same place. They will not change. But when it comes to dynamic web table, the rows and columns are changed every time you refresh. Every time the page is loaded, the column names or the row, the column names will keep on changing. As we are learning automation, right? So we should learn how to automate. web tables. It means you should know how to get the data from the web tables. So to understand the web table, we know static web table and dynamic web table. So now as a dev automation tester, you should know how to get the data from the static web table, how to get the data from the dynamic web table. So initially we have started a demo or we have written a script on how to get the data from the static web table. Okay. Now we'll throw some light on it. We'll discuss a little bit in detail, right? I think we have discussed yesterday also, but benefit of benefit to everyone because few people might be having some doubts. So I want you to ask the doubts. Don't just listen. Any doubts that you have, you can still clarify it. Okay. Now, so this is my a sample web table from W3 schools, and I'm passing the URL. Okay. I hope there is no doubt in this. This is a JavaScript executor which will scroll the the window up and down depends on X and Y axis, right? Now here the is important one is like if you want to get data from the static web table, so directly what you do, you'll take that particular element's XPath. Example, if I want to get this email address or this country name or this contact information or the company name, I can directly get this and directly take XPath. Generally, we do, right? Do where I click, inspect, and see here. And I'll do a right click because this is the one which is highlighting. I'll take the XPath here and I'll check how many elements. Ideally, it should display one element. So it is matching one element. It is also highlighting. And I'll pass this XPath. Okay. I'll pass this XPath. Now tell me this is XPath. Everybody knows it. Is this a relative XPath or an absolute XPath?
Relative expert.
Relative expert.
This is
Relative
a
XPath.
hybrid expert.
Yeah. This is combination actually. This is a from here to here, it is relative XPath. You can see this is a hierarchy which generally comes in the absolute XPath.
Absolute.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but if you can see the categorization here, the selector sub displays lot many locators information. See here, this is the relative XPath. Okay. If I come down, there is a absolute XPath. See, this is the complete absolute XPath. I can take this one. If I copy this and paste it, it is identifying same element. But if I take a relative XPath and take, okay, copy this and paste it, it is identifying same thing. Okay, right. See another important term here. Now, when I copy this one, right, I'm using. See here, normalize space. This is one you don't find this in the information of these locators. Like developers will not be using this particular word, normalize space. If you look at here, you will not find this. Okay. Now, generally, it is has right class name, class and class name, ID and the ID name, which we create a locators from this information. But what you see this one normalized space, right? Make a note of this. Okay. So whenever you have a data which is having a space, now Maria space Anders, right? Now we have a space here. People they are not look can't see. See, whenever you have a space like this, okay, or example, after Anders, there is a two spaces, might be, okay. if you use normalized space as one of the locators information, this is also one way of writing the custom XPath, okay, which will ignore the spaces like this and it will identify the element properly. Okay, especially when you deal with right a string inside the double quotes which has a space, try to use this normalized space and create an XPath. Okay, right. Okay, now if I hit enter, it is identifying one element. Okay, now with this, I can get the get text with the help of get text method. I can get the value of the particular element, web element. If it is a value of contact, if it is a value of email address, a value of name, whatever it is inside the table. If you want to get it, that is one way of automating it when you have a specific requirement. Now you don't know, right? Sometimes that method also will not work, right? I saw websites where get text is not identified, even though you take the XPath example of this XPath. If you're taking it, right, this element is not identified, and when it is not identified, get text will not work. So it will keep on throwing error that element invisible, element no such element found, different reasons. Okay, in that case also, there's no point in writing the direct text path and getting the value. So what you need to do is first get the number of rows. Correct? This is the irrespective of any table. If you find any table, right? If you want to read the data from the web table, always you should read the number of rows from the table. Number of rows from the table. How do you do it? How do you do it? Now we have done it yesterday. You need number of rows. So obviously we'll use find elements. Correct? We'll use find elements. Here, importantly, anywhere on the table, just do a right click and inspect. Anywhere on the table. Now this is the one. Here is a table tag, and I have a table tag closing here, opening and closing. All my table data is inside it. So I'll click anywhere, copy and copy the XPath, full XPath. Now this is my full XPath. I copied it. Okay. Okay. Now our concentration should be on this table, this T body, this TR, and TD. Now, what is that? If I select this one, go here and see what value it is selecting. It is selecting central commercial. So one value it is selecting. Okay. Now, irrespective of any row I select, okay. Let me keep down. Irrespective of any row I select. Now, any row means what? It is TR3, correct? 1, 2, 3. We have selected this one. Irrespective of any row you select, correct? Irrespective of any row. For that row, the columns are same, right? For company, Alfred's, there's a contact, there is a German country name. Same for all these companies. There is a contact information, this country information, right? For any row I select, there are only 3 columns, right? Now, yesterday we have removed this 3. Yesterday we have removed this 3 and put TD. If you select that, it was saying 18 elements. Okay. Now we should not be removing the 3. If I do a control Z, is working? No. Okay. Now if I go anywhere and just do a click, this is my XPath, full XPath. And if I copy it here, right, there's only one element matching. Okay. But I want to know the total number of rows, correct? Total number of rows. I want to know total number of rows. What I'll do, obviously, I'll remove this part and this will give me total number of rows that we have passed here. Where is that? Right, total number of rows. Okay. Now we are taking into a row count, right? The size always returns when you place mouse pointer. It always returns int. Java it will size. Return type is integer value. Okay, the number of elements in this list. It means you have whatever variable you're creating, that is of integer type. You know, right? There'll not be any decimal. See, it will not be 2.5, 2.6. You know decimal system, right? The decimal values. It will be only integer values without any decimals. So in Java, we have a data type called as integer, int, where it accepts all the integer value. Now there is a row count I've created variable which will have the find elements, the number of elements. That is why I use find elements, right? Now, what does it do? Number of web elements. What are we trying to do here? Number of rows. Number of rows. We are trying to identify number of rows. So if I go and do a search here, right? Now, how many number of rows? 7. Yes or no? Now, you can play around. Put brackets tr of 1. Check what it is returning. This is row number 1. Correct? Row number 1. Now, if I make it 2, enter this row number 2. So, ideally, the column, the data, when I said the data, it is starting from the row 2 onwards. Row 1 is a name of the columns, right? So that generates called as a metadata. Okay. Now, so this is my XPath to get the number of rows. Okay. All right. We have passed number of rows. Agreed. How do I identify the number of columns? So why do I need columns? First row, first column. This is this one. First row, second column. This is this one. Second row, second column. This is this one. So I want to know this data. How will I identify? Based on the row, the number of row and number of columns will give the data from this table. Okay. All right. Now we have identified the number of rows. We will be identifying number of columns. The method is similar, but here when we copy this one, okay. Now I clicked on this commercial. Say somewhere in this, I clicked on it. I clicked on the second one. That's where see 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. This is the third row, first column, which is central. Okay. Now for every row, right? The column names are same. For this, there is one company name, contact, and country. Company name, contact, and country. So every row has 3 columns where the data is available. Now, 1 minute. Now, how I'm going to going to identify, I need the data, correct? Now I need the data, which means I need to take the TD table data, which is in the table. Now, if I go and identify this one, right? Now I go and identify this one, it says table 3, right? This is the complete, this is a complete row, right? You get the point, everyone?
Yes, Vinod.
So far, any
Vinod.
confusion? So far, any
No,
confusion?
Clear,
No,
Vinod.
Vinod.
All right. So
No.
now this is where we are passing here. Now this is element, second row I've taken it. It is giving the size. Okay. So once it is giving the size, we are now row count, we have column count. We have a row count, we have a column count. Okay. Now, based on the number of rows, based on the number of columns, you're going to write two different for loops so that it will fetch all the data from the table. When it's a table, it's a web table. So we have divided the XPath into three parts. Why only three parts? Why only three parts? Because you need to, the table data is changing based on the number, the row number and the column number, which is number of rows and number of columns, correct? That's where you need two for loops to increment the value. On what basis will you increment? The number of rows which was identified and number of columns which has been identified. You will run the for loop for that particular conditions. Okay. Now I'm setting up a for loop. You know how to split this one. Complete X path, right? I'm taking a absolute X path. I'm splitting like this, correct? Where is it? Full X path. Let me copy the full X path. This is a right. Yeah. Now I am splitting like this, right? So that I can pass a value in it, correct? Right? I'm splitting into three parts. First part, second part, and third. In between, I'm passing some variable I, correct? Some variable called J. So that every time I value will change, every time J value is changed, the X path is prepared based on these values, and the same X path will go to the website and check whether with this X path, is there any element available? If there is any element available, we'll get the no value from the web page, which is help of get text method. So we'll get the data from the web table. Okay. Any confusion so far? Any confusion so far?
No, Vinod.
No, Vinod.
Okay. So ideally, when you are preparing an XPath, you should be more careful of where you are splitting and how are you preparing the XPath. Got it? Now, I have just trying to print the I value and J value And let's see how the data is actually fetching from the table. Okay. Now let's do a run. Let's open the browser. Yeah. See, the data is printed. And we'll see one by one how the for loop is working. Okay. Now see, the row count is 7. Correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Column 3. 1, company, contact, and country. Okay. This is the actual values. If the columns are 4, it should print as 4. If columns are 2, it should print as 2. Now the for loop, right? Now look at this table. We copy that one instead of writing it. Oh, okay. Okay, I have copied here. Now I've written this for loop. Okay. Now tell me what is what is this for loop? It will run based on the row count. Okay. Now we will assume what is the row count here? 7, right?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
The row count is equal to 7. Okay. Now tell me, is it the right for loop I'm writing?
Yeah, right only, Vinod.
Okay. Who all says right?
Siri, Vinod.
Yeah, that's fine. Siri saying right. Others, is this right for loop? Look at the table and look at the for loop.
Correct
What
only,
happened?
Vinod.
Correct? Then why there is so much of doubt? Okay, now I have two for loops. Where is that? Right. Now I have two for loops. Okay. I've written two for loops. Now row count is 7. Column count is 3. Correct? Now this is the condition. This is the condition. I'll write it like this: 7, 3. Correct. This is the condition. Now tell me. Now tell me. First one, is this right for loop? First step is right. Who says it is right? Series is saying right. Tulsi is saying right. Others, please.
It is correct. Correct, Vinod.
Correct, right? Okay. Now, let's take this X path. Okay. Now the okay. This is my X path, right? Correct. This is my X path. Now the value is what? First one is what? 1. Correct? I is equal to 1. Yes or no? I equal to 1.
Yes.
It'll enter the for loop. Then J is also 1.
1.
Correct? Yes or no? This is the first export it will prepare, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Vinod.
Right. I'll go to that. Where is that sheet? Yeah, I am checking. Paste it here. Hit enter. There are 0 elements. Why it is 0 elements?
Because
Okay,
actually, it starts
hold on.
from 2, right?
Yeah, hold on. Hold on. Let's do it here. Okay, let's make it
Yes.
1. Correct? That's what we planned. Now let's run this one. Hope you're understanding, right? What are we doing now? Hope everyone is
Yes, ma'am.
getting right. Okay. So do not get confused. Getting confusion is okay. Everybody will be confused at this stage, but you have to clear the confusion. Right. Now just see this no such element found. The same it is showing here also, right? There is 0 element.
Because that has the header element.
Okay. Others? Niharika is
Yes,
saying something. Maybe I'm not understanding.
Yes, yes, we
Others?
know that is the header.
Table
So
row which is taken as a 1 I
table
equal to
row,
1.
Okay, one by one, one by one. Okay. Rajalakshmi.
yeah, here header also counting 7. Without a header, 6 rows is there. So I equal to 2. Sorry.
See, it is
I
counting, it
has
is counting, it is counting with header. Okay, that is
yes,
fine. Number
yes,
of rows are 7 only,
yeah.
right? When it is counted 7, why it is throwing an error now?
Less than or equal to 7. Writing. Then 7 is the writer.
Less than or equal to 7. I should remove is equal to.
Yes.
Okay.
Why? Because 7 rows come. 7 rows
Okay.
means header also counting, right? Without a header, 6 rows actually.
Okay. Others? Some language Rajalakshmi is talking. Maybe I'm not able to understand. Others? What's her name? Archana?
No, Vinod.
What is that, Archana? What do you think? Right or wrong? Come on, speak out. There's nothing wrong in talking.
I don't understand this concept, Vinod. I will trying to understand first.
Okay. Tulsi,
From table data only it will pick maybe. So that's why getting error. Our company is in another highlight and other data is in another, right?
no,
okay,
the first row will be under TH. So we are normally identifying the TR and TD data through
okay,
this
right.
path.
Now let's see. Okay, let's see. Now, if I click on this, inside the TR, my company contact and country is under TH, which is table heading. Yes or no? TH,
Yes.
Yes, we know.
correct?
Yes, Vinod.
But in our XPath, do we have any TH?
No.
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 Correct? We are not identifying any TH. Though it is a row 1, but we are not telling TH, but we are telling what? TD.
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 TD row number 1 is this one. But whereas TH row number 1 is this one. So we are not writing the XPath for, right, TH. We are writing XPath for TD. That is where it was throwing an error. Okay. Now let's remove is equal to. Okay. Now let's run this. Now let's see how it is fetching the data. The still get method is still working. Is throwing an error. What is it error? No such element. Okay. Yeah, of course. This is the one, right? Now our for loop should start from where? From line number
2.
2. Okay. Now let's assign 2. Now what will be my XPath this time? Right.
Yeah,
This
2.
is row number 2, TD number 1.
1.
Okay. Now let's copy this one and go to our selectors hub and do a hit enter.
1 element.
Correct? It is
Yes.
identifying this one. Right? Now let's run this. Will it work this time?
Yes, Vinod.
Okay. So let's see. Just slowly. Yeah, now it is working fine. Now see the I value is 2, 1 value is J. It's picked up Alfred's. Correct? Now I value is 2, J value is 2. Now this time it's picked up Maria Sanders. Right? This is how we have to pick the data from the static web table. And tomorrow, see, this code will work for any web table. All you need to change is what? You need to change the XPaths. That's it. Everything remains same. Right? Everything remains same. So ideally, you have to see when we talk in the interview, right? People will ask, how do you automate a web table? So you should know the procedure. No, it's people will ask, how do you invoke the browser? Then you should remember that step. Butify. How do you scroll up and down? You should butify this step. How do you open? How do you maximize the window? You should butify this step. There is no other option. See, butify in a sense, the more you write the scripting, right, automatically it will come to your mind. You try it, right? Once you having a good practice, whenever you're outside of the laptop, just think of any method. Any method you think, automatically the syntax will come to your mind. Trust me. Anything, find element or finding out the size of the elements or number of links. So anyone asking what is the implicitly wait method, can you write the syntax? You should be able to tell that. How do you define XPath? Can you tell me the XPath syntax? How do you define CSS? Can you give me example of using class? How do you write XPath? Sorry, CSS with the class name, CSS with ID. You should know all those things. That is all about automation. How I'm using it, nobody can tell you this is the right procedure. Tomorrow you can write in different way also. Okay, instead of using two for loops, you can use another for loop. It's up to you. Nobody will tell you this is the right procedure in automation. Okay, this is not only the right procedure. This is one way of doing the automation. Tomorrow, if you look at other another channels, other YouTube, or if you go to any real-time projects, you see there's a different kind of altogether reading, writing a web table. But this is how you learned it. If you wanted to read and write a web table, you should first identify the number of rows, identify the number of columns, correct? Identify the number of rows, identify the number of columns, right? Then you prepare next path. The procedure should be in your mind. If somebody is asking how do you automate a web table, you should tell we should first launch the browser, right? Then you get the number of rows from the table. Then you get the number of columns from the table. If an interviewer asks why, how do you get the number of rows? Then you should say that we use a find elements and get the size, and we'll put it in one variable which is of integer type. So you should know the procedure. You should know the procedure. Okay. Okay. Right. Now let's have you understand completely, right? Any doubts here, guys? Archana, you understanding?
Yes, Vinod.
You understanding, right?
Element.
Yes, Vinod.
Vinod, can you move some right side at the get text method? We'll see. Here we changed the in the column XPath, right?
Huh.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Others, any doubts, please?
Clear or not?
No doubts?
Element matching. We have to check the element matching every time.
Element matching.
Element match.
Sorry, Kavita, your voice is not clear.
We are taking absolute XPath and we are placing in element matching now. We have to check that one every time.
Which line you're talking about?
Maybe she's talking about the CSS selectors hub.
Yes.
Selectors of, okay. Yeah, see, if example,
Yes.
you're taking this XPath, okay.
Yes.
How do you know if it is working fine or not? You will come here, you will paste it, then you run the script. It will pass or it will fail. It will fail saying that element not visible. To avoid those time waste kind of activities, copy here, paste it and check whether the element, it should show, right? It is saying one element matching. If it is saying one element matching, see the highlighted one. See if I hit enter, right? It is highlighting, correct? It should highlight here. It should highlight here. Then only your XPath is correct. Okay.
Okay.
Any others doubts, please? Any other doubts?
And in this, we need to take complete XPath compared to others, right? Till yesterday, we have taken just the XPath, but here we need to take complete XPath, full XPath.
No, yesterday also we have taken the full complete XPath.
Not yesterday, day before yesterday. Till not this topic. Before topics, we can take XPath. For this topic, we need to take full XPath.
Okay, to get the particular text value from the table, we have taken direct XPath for that element. But here we are taking the data completely from the table. We are reading the data from the table. Okay, that is why we have split that to pass a variable inside that XPath.
Okay, Vinod.
Done? Everyone? Okay. So let's do it something different today.
Vinod, once it is open, please. That code. Scroll down, Vinod. Scroll. Yeah.
Maximize the window.
Okay, Vinod. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Okay. So I'm stopping the sharing now. I'm also let's stop the recording.